Hello, I'm your host, Ismay Chels, and welcome to Bonus Storytime Mondays. Today's video is Chapter 2 of The Great Battle for Amerikhanta. So now it's the year 1861 on April 28th, during the North American Civil War. A strange and mysterious spacecraft with spikes and surrounded by a sickly, eerie green yellow glow crash landed in the Saddlewood Mistvale Forest. So now the invasion of the evil intergalactic dark had now begun as well. But also at this time, General Lee was leading his troops through the Saddlewood Forest when it was a windy and foggy spring day that was oddly snowing and the ground all covered in frost. Then in another area of the forest, Generals Grant, Connolly L.C. Conway, and Ardrey Cattanach Bain were leading their troops through the western Saddlewood Forest, heading north directly towards the Confederate Army's current position. Then back at the Confederate Army, young 18, 17, and 16-year-old Thames, McCaz, and Mosey Blake both heard ominous drum-like sounds coming from deeper within the forest. And it sounded like the ominous drum sounds were getting ever closer and coming towards them. Then, a while later, General Lee and the rest of the troops also heard the ominous drum sounds as well. After a while of hearing those ominous drum sounds, all of a sudden arrows shot through the air, and so that's when General Lee and his troops all ducked out of the way of the incoming arrows. After that happened, the army of orcs and Yerskeksis descended upon them from the north end of the forest. So now, General Lee and his troops all fought courageously against the advancing beings of the evil forces of darkness known as the Dark. But during the battle, the orcs and Yerskeksis were quickly outnumbering the Confederate army and massacring them in an absolute bloodbath. But before the army of the dark could totally decimate them, young 19-year-old Joseph Tasman Azul of the Union Army rushed in and fought off the orcs and Yerskeksis, and single-handedly saved the Confederate army from the army of the dark. So after Joseph Tasman Azul had saved General Lee and his troops from the army of the dark, General Lee said, "Thanks for saving us from the army of the dark, Joseph Tasman Azul of the Union Army." So now General Lee and his troops continued on their way through the forest. Then Joseph Tasman Azul returned back to the Union Army, who were not too far from the Confederate Army's current position. Now the Union Army also continued making their way through the forest as well. Thanks for watching. See you again on Thursday for another story time video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to hit that little notification bell so you don't miss a video.